Hey guys, this is HellHades. This is a Watcher of Realms video, and today we're joined by one of the biggest content creators on the scene for Watcher of Realms, Ivy Lee. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No, not a problem. So for those who kind of know me from Raid Shadow Legends, they will also know Ivy Lee Gaming. Ivy Lee Gaming, you kind of like spread out into the world of hero collectors, and this is where you have landed right now. So yeah, I guess today we want to look at really some of the kind of top tips for beginners. I'm a beginner, I'm a noob in this game right now, but probably from a perspective of I already know this type of game. So hopefully I know some good questions to ask to kind of direct the viewers here. I guess before we get into that, what's your kind of channel built upon, would you say? What type of things do you generally cover for watchers?
Yeah, I went fully exclusive for my channel to only cover Watcher 100%. I think this is kind of the game that's going to stick for a long time. And I kind of do everything, just like I did for Raid. I do shard pulls. Who doesn't do summons, Yeah. That's the fun part. And I do viewer summoning parties every week. I'm doing one today, as of this recording anyway. And yeah, I don't know. I do a little bit of everything. I do all the news, patch notes kind of stuff. And I have the test server. So every time new heroes come out, I get early access to make videos on that to post for the week when they're coming out. So I kind of have a mix. I don't push the super end game because I don't have like the Forerunner server, like someone like my bucket that played for 10 months, 11 months already, whatever it is. I didn't have that.
Is that why his account is so stacked?
He has a Forerunner server account as well. So he played in those servers just like, they crossed over with global. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've seen a few of the old Raid Shadow Legend players as well. I've seen Boomer around. I've seen Deeks around, which were some of the kind of big end game players. Yeah, Cold Brew as well. Yeah.
Ash is coming. Everybody's coming. We're all coming.
We're all coming. We're on our way. Yeah. Okay, so I guess the main question I'm ever asked if I'm streaming, if there's new players that come into the game for Raid, is like, who should I 6-star first? And by that I mean like, which champion should I focus on to kind of get content done? I guess my question is that a similar type of thing in Watchers, or do you try and spread leveling for your heroes?
It's not that simple. It's not like you take one person to 60 and everyone else doesn't matter. It's not like one person can campaign farm like Raid. That's a huge difference in this game. You definitely need a balanced roster because you need a healer or two. Honestly, 2 healers is so key for progression. And then a tank or 2. And then you're going to need multiple damage dealers depending on what you're doing. It's just that you need so many elements that they all kind of need to be at a similar level. Definitely pushing like one AoE mage that does damage to the highest level first is smart. Like if you get lucky and you get Comet, Vierna early, that would be the no-brainer. Just take them immediately. But and in this
case,
with
the freebies that you get, like Mary and Voltus, are they strong enough to kind of use like in that instance? Because they're decent mages from what I've seen so far, but I'm only seeing like early game stuff.
Personally, on my free-to-play account, I took Theo in to the highest level first because I'm going to take him to level 60. I see you got him too for your marksman, the top marksman up there. That one. I actually took him to 60 before because I think he's going to he gives the AoE and he gives me kind of that piercing marksman damage too.
Sure.
But Voltus is one that you would not take past level 50. Like I think you're pretty safe to take him to level 50, 5-star kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the rares just don't have as high of base stats, so it's going to be impossible to keep them alive in the really high stages of gear raid farming, which by that point, you don't want a 6-star anyone that you're not going to use in the end game. It's just not worth it resource-wise.
Okay, so level 50 is kind of like the max unless you feel like they're going to be going through to endgame stuff.
And even some of those other side characters like Camille and Rex that you get as the story, the rares, you can take them to 4-star and promote them because they're going to be part of the fusions anyway if you decide to do the fusions. So you can at least use them as is to help you progress. I wouldn't take any of them past level 40 even.
And with champions, if we stick with champions for a second, so things like promotion, things like skill upgrades, would you say feel free, just go ahead and do them? Or is it kind of like the Raid epic book that you definitely don't want to use?
They're precious. Yeah. Okay. So
you see that I've got some leveled here. Are you cringing at the fact that I've leveled up some skills already?
No, Mari's amazing. Okay, Mari is amazing for even endgame arena because of her slow and her freeze. Cool. You can use her at level 40 or 50 and never take her beyond that, and she's still going to be top tier arena hero. So that's really fun. personally, I haven't got any other mages yet on my free-to-play account, so I'm gonna probably take Mari to 50 and use her a little bit more heavily in other content too, but I think the problem is, like, the beginning stuff isn't too bad with the dust for skills, but then those crystals become more rare, so you've got to be really selective about using them. So I only have used my to the point where you need the skill crystals for, like, after you've done so many skill ups. Like, I save that for my main DPS. Like, Theowen is getting all of mine until I max out his ultimate. Once I max out his ultimate, then I'll move on to someone else. Or like Voltus, it's not bad. The rares, you get plenty of blue everything. Go crazy on the rares.
Because, it felt to me like Voltus was super quick just to max out, and I was also doing the same thing with Rex, and I was like, hold on.
You can. The blues, you get too many stuff. You're never going to use it. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And what about the Awakening side? Like, is that Awakening's basically you get a dupe of the champion and then you upgrade, right? So would you say that's exactly what I would do every time I get a dupe with someone that I want to use long term, or do you tend to hold a dupe, or how do you tend to play it?
So I hold the dupes of the fusion for the epics that are for Abomination, because even if you pull Abomination, you might want to fuse him for the sake of his Awakening as well. But like if you get Vortex, one of the best healers, you might want to save one copy of him for the fusion before you start putting in Awakenings. But
where do I see the fusions? Is that in Summon?
Where you go to Summon and then down a Hero Fusion. Yeah, like those 4 epics I would save a copy of for the sake of future fusion when you get them, because you might not get them for some people, like, never got Daemon for, like, 2 months of playing.
Right, okay.
Kind of thing. But honestly, the Awakenings, personally, and I see most people using this strategy, you never know when they're going to improve epics too or change them. So I go ham. Every single epic dupe I get, they just immediately go in as an Awakening. And you get the good thing about it with this game is it's not a waste. You get that 4-star chicken back, right? You get that fodder.
Yeah, that's nice actually. Yeah.
So that helps you improve other characters anyway. And then that character's ready to use if you need to, or if they buff them and they get dramatically better, boom, you're ready to go. Or new content comes out, like all of a sudden, Daemon got a buff, and he's great for the new content for the Chapter 9 campaign, for example. Right. That's more in-game content. When it comes to rares, though, the Awakenings don't have as much of an impact. So, like, they're okay. Go ahead and do them if you want. If you really know you're using the character, use them. But you're probably honestly better. Like, Voltus, yeah, sure, because he's heavily used. Cuke. Actually, can you do... Some of them you can't do Awakenings for. I always forget which ones you can and cannot. But there's a poison guy that's amazing.
Like stats. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's just a little stat boost. It's not great, but it helps, I guess.
Yeah, I was told. I don't think I've got him yet. Actually, I was told about a rare that's actually part of the fusion. I think who's a poisoner. That
Cuke is a poisoner.
And
there's this guy. Also the uncommon. Yeah, him.
This is like a don't feed rare. Right. Okay. Let's move on to the next point then, because for gear on your champions, your heroes, is there a particular kind of like, I mean, in a minute I've got no gear really, I've got crap gear, so I'm just throwing anything on, but are you looking for a certain type of gear pieces or certain types of characters? So for example, on a mage, are you after a certain type of stat versus a fighter versus your tank? What's the direction?
For the most part, DPS is DPS. That includes mages, fighters, and marksmen. So you're just going to be looking for attack percentage. And in this game, attack percentage or a flat attack is, well, early at this early stage, you're going to be using flat stats are better than percentages because their base stats are so low.
Right.
When it comes to the blue and purple gear especially, you're never going to worry about percentages as the main stat for the 3-piece sets once you get there. But the DPS is a DPS, so it's like you're going to be looking for that crit rate, crit damage eventually as well.
Yeah.
But a mage, I know they always have a focus seemingly on rage regen, but rage regen is all about when you get hit, you build up your ultimate faster, like you come back to your ultimate faster. But if you're not getting hit because you're ranged very often, it's really not going to help that much.
I did see that actually as a stat, and I thought it was just. I actually just thought it was just, okay, I'm going to get my ultimate faster. I didn't realize it.
There's rage regen auto. I think that's the one it's kind of weird. It doesn't make as much sense as it should. It's a little bit gray, but...
Right, okay. And then in terms of summonings, let's talk about some summons. Like, when should you do it? Is this like a only summon for certain type of events type of game? Or is this just like a summon when you've got, available resources?
This is a special event that rarely comes around, so definitely take advantage of that. 1+1 event. We love that in Raid. It was always my
Yeah.
favorite event.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
it's fun.
definitely the kind of, I mean, I feel like Raid is probably the same as this when it comes to summoning strategy. For one, the pity is pretty much this exact same as well,
Okay.
and the rates are the same. But the first week or two, you just need to get heroes. Like you don't really
Yeah.
have the time to wait. You just need to get people to build. But once you've
Yeah.
got a few people to work on, definitely wait for every Friday without fail. There's going to be some sort of summoning event, whether it be a 2 times, a 10 times, or a 2 times with a 10 times, or yeah, an ancient summoning event, or like these 1+1s are special events only usually. But they are doing good about telling us about them ahead of time. They actually sprung it on us before, and we were not happy about that. And they listened to our feedback and they told us way
Ah,
ahead of
okay.
time.
Nice. Yeah,
They,
because
they
I've had.
genuinely feel like they're listening to feedback. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And with gems then, because I know that gems can be converted into
Yes.
summons. Are you kind of like a pusher of use gems for summons, or would you use gems for something else?
I think for your first couple weeks, maybe even 3 weeks of playing, depending on how heavily someone plays, 100% all in on summons. Sell every rare that you're
Right.
not using for diamonds. Use all your diamonds for summons, period, just to build up your account. And
So
then once
you
you get
would.
to the point where
Ha-
you can farm a really good stage, like if you have nothing worth farming, like higher stages of experience or good gear, like legendary gear, there's no point to waste your stamina farming low level stuff. So
Okay.
there's really no need to use your diamonds for stamina because you get plenty of it to kind of maintain and start the account to begin with.
Yeah, sure. And I was going to ask about sort of progress actually, because I've got to a point probably similar to what you're saying. I've been holding my summons because I want to do a summons video, but actually, like I'm ready to get some new heroes in because honestly, I've got to a point where I was just starting to struggle with a campaign level. So when I'm at this point and I can't progress further, what's the best way to up level your account to give you power? Like, what's the kind of the best thing to throw in to actually boost your power up?
I think even just the little bits of gear changes, like you have a bunch of lazy gear, just put everything to level 4, level everything to level 8, whatever you can
Yeah,
do. Something is better than nothing, and it makes huge stat increases. But
sure.
if you're really stuck, I mean, you don't have many promotions. You got to get those promotions. Those are key. Big
Right.
boosts on stats, and they also unlock people's range. Like you'll notice Voltus, I think Voltus has it, or Mari. When you look at the second or third promotions, it actually shows that they have increased range. Like you can actually click on the Roman numerals and see what they give you. I think is it the second, like
Bounce
number
more
2?
targets. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
see his
Oh, yeah.
range
Okay.
expands. So you really want
Yeah.
to do that as well. That helps.
Nice.
The promotions I do right away as soon as I can. Plus, as you go through the hero's path, it's actually really good compared to raid progress missions and challenges. It really does get you doing the right things, and that'll
Yeah. Do
get
you mean
you.
the
It'll
story
kind of
mode?
force you. Yeah, the storyline. Yep, here
Yeah, yeah,
that's to get Volca.
yeah,
That'll
yeah.
suggest the right things. Honestly, it does a pretty good job.
So if I'm struggling to get through things, you actually think throw some of your energy into basically promotion raids, get the
Oh
promotions
yeah,
up as quick as you can. Okay, cool.
yeah.
That's interesting. I was kind of like, again, spreading the love, trying to get to like level 2 promotions across the board, but it feels like I should just go ham and actually, for the people that I want to keep at least, start
Yeah,
to
like
push it a bit higher.
Theowen for sure. Theowen and Voltus get their promotions maxed. Mari as well, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I was going to ask where do I use stamina early, but it feels like promotion raids then, and also do you kind of say throw it into experience raids as well, or are you
I mean,
not so
I
fussed
would
about
only
that?
farm like stage 6 or 7 at least. I wouldn't farm much sooner than that unless you
Right.
have to, because it's just not worth how much you get back. I mean, you got to do a
Really?
little bit just to improve your people,
Yeah.
but it's just so hard. It's not worth the energy spent doing thousands of energy for the low level.
Right.
I would
Okay.
say if you can push through and kind of once you get the promotions, I think it'll really help your base stats a lot and you'll really move forward. I think the second I hit stage 6, I was like, all right, this is the time to like get enough experience to start pushing one person to level 60. And then
Okay.
at least that one damage dealer then will make doing everything else easier. So
Yeah.
that can kind of help carry, and then you should be able to progress faster to
It's
stage
interesting
like
actually because
7.
like yesterday, I was just kind of like I had to go and do some stuff. I was going out the house. And I was like, well, I'm just going to auto fight, a whole bunch of stamina into the furthest one I could do, which was 3. And I was like, experience has got to be the way to go. But it's really like refreshing talking to someone who's kind of been playing the game for a while, and it's like, actually, no, that's not going to give you best bang for your buck. Get your guys promoted, and get going on some summons to kind of get the account moving.
Just keep going with the hero's path and let it direct you, because it's going to make you keep doing stuff. And definitely with the XP, I see you have the XP bonus on now. Like definitely take advantage of those while it's on. If you notice it's about to expire and you want to do a little extra, fine. At least you know you're getting double. But I would never farm experience without that turned on. It's huge.
Okay. So look, as a bit of a spender already here, which to my shame, I've already done it. But if you were to kind of like call out a couple of things which are worth buying as a spender, what's the kind of like 2 or 3 areas that you'd say, you know what, as a lower spender, this is what I would pick up?
I would consider myself a low mid spender myself, and I went within the second I could spend. I bought the Iona pack. You should buy that. If you're going to spend, buy Iona, max her first.
Oh, really? Right, okay.
She's very good. She's very, very good. She's an AoE mage. She also brings a slow, so that helps a little bit with arena and all the content in general. And she hits hard, and she's pretty cheap to place, which makes her more usable than some of the higher tier mages that are more expensive.
Okay.
But yeah, she's absolutely worth it. That's probably the number 1 first purchase. The number 2, the privilege card, because it's cheap. And it gives you just so much over time. There's so many like percentage increased extra gold, extra XP. I would say the second if you play day 1, if you are gonna spend, just buy all those little things right away.
So I have already bought this actually. This was something I bought yesterday because I was just like, I love the idea of the extra speed and like you said, like more multi-battles for me is just great. More experience, and it just felt like it was a reasonable pack. I was also quite interested about the extra random drops part of it. It's
huge. When I do like 50 battles, I'll have like 20 pieces of gear down there sometimes. I can't even believe how much extra gear I get.
Yeah. I really like that.
Sometimes it's only a few, sometimes it's amazing.
Yeah, and is it, as they say here, random drops? So you could be doing like a experience run, but you might get like a gear piece or something? Or is that the way it works?
It's whatever dungeon you're doing. It'll just give you extra.
Yeah. Okay. Was there any others that you would say?
Yeah, I would definitely want to say like the monthly cards are great, but the first time you buy them get more expensive the second time. So you might want to buy them once and not buy them again.
I bought one and then it was like the next one looked the same, but then no, the price was different.
But to be fair, look at the price of it. Like 40 summons for $15. That's really insane, honestly. Like they kind of go to a raid almost like $1 per summon. So that's still a really good value at the end of the day. And then, but overall, if you're buying summons, you want to buy the level up packs. At level 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, there's great packs for the best value for summoning shards.
12.1 coming up soon. I'm level 18 right now, so I'm still a very early player. But yeah, okay, that's interesting. And I guess sort of lastly, if people were to go and watch maybe like a couple of your videos now for like early game content, where would you direct them? Like what sort of videos? And I can pin them down below actually.
Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think. I haven't done an ultimate beginner's guide yet. That's in my plans. So maybe that's something I need to get done this week. I think the best thing to help new players would probably be following along in my free-to-play series, because I'm always talking new strategy. I have a whole playlist for that. I'm doing free-to-play I started as a 1 hour a day, but now I'm only doing up to 2 hours a day.
Nice.
No more 2 hours of gameplay a day to make it kind of feel more relatable for people progressing slower.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing that free-to-play account for?
I'm on day 15. I just got Wrath, which is a game changer. He's so good.
Nice. Actually, I'm going to go and check that series myself, because I find like I've done free-to-play series obviously on Raid, and what I tend to do on those series is it doesn't matter if you're free-to-play or not. You just learn a lot because you're having to do much better resource management than someone who spends. So it's just kind of like around where are you pushing your resources, where are you pushing your stamina, where are you pushing your, when you're using your summons, all that type of stuff starts to make a lot more sense if you do it from a free-to-play perspective. So very cool.
I live stream it a lot too. I was almost every day live streaming the free-to-play. I was like, it's fun. It's something chill to kind of sit back, relax, and do like a more relaxed vibe, I guess. But other than that, I guess just general character guides. I have plenty of those working on and trying to keep pumping those out as we get new heroes. Yeah,
brilliant. And I just quickly, because it's relevant to me right now, the new heroes that are part of this kind of like summoning event. Is it Valerie?
Valeria and
Valeria.
Brooke
Yeah. How good is that hero? Is that someone that I'm like, you should?
Yeah, I mean, Valeria will be
get it?
very end game viable. I'll give a shout to my friend Mabucket. He put out a wonderful video pushing her to the max, like putting her in insane gear, like kind of min-maxing, which I haven't got the gear on the test server to do yet. But yeah, he pushed her on the test server and he really showed how great she can be. That Chaos Dominion faction's really quirky. It's kind of strange, but she does have amazing potential for guild boss and for artifact material raid. She's very strong. I wouldn't say she's the best. Like, I'd still much prefer Arrogance, who's even more universal as a hero.
Okay.
But she's very good. And Brokir is the best defender in the game, I would say. He can block so much, and he's just a frozen little tank that doesn't budge and nothing can come through him kind of thing. He's great.
Yeah. It looks very cool, actually.
But definitely, like in your case, or anyone's case, that's if this event is still happening when you post this video, if you get one of those 1+1 events, 100% just do that. You know, the price of getting that one pity, knowing you're getting 2 heroes is totally worth it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, we were talking about packs. I have to, on the note of this, the limited events, that $30 pack that's only out for a limited time. Did that pop up for you yet? Did you get there?
No. Is that for the 5 million download pack?
Yeah.
I think I need to beat this. I think I need to beat 415 to do it, do I?
Oh, yes, you do. Okay, yep.
So that's my job today. That's my job today.
And then go get a $30 Lego.
Yeah, and that actually I was saving it. I was saving my summons video until I've done this and I get that pack. So it's all like tying together. But yeah. Anyway, Ivy Lee, look, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, make sure you go and sub to Ivy Lee's channel. It will be linked down below. And yeah, hopefully you won't make a bunch of these mistakes that I've already made in the first couple of weeks playing. Ivy Lee, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.